What's up guys, Irman here, Monster Gadgets. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Thank you so much for joining me. And in today's video, we are taking a look at the new Apple iMac with the M1 chip in it. While I'm not cool enough for Apple to actually send me the product, I did go out to the Apple store myself to go take a look at it and get a real world feel of what it's like to see it in person, play around with it, launch a few apps, get a feel of the performance. So today I'm going to share with you guys my experience and what I think of the new iMac. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright guys, welcome back. So first, let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, which is the way the new iMacs look. Originally, when I saw the launch of it, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, you know what, there's a lot of colors. Some colors I like, some colors I don't like, but one in particular I thought was really cool was the blue one, and what I thought was the red one. And that's where I was kind of confused later on when I found out, you know, the back is actually different than the front, and then you've got the white bezels on the sides, and all of a sudden my excitement level went from like here to kind of like here. But for those of you that might not know, I am a huge Apple fan, so before you go bash me in the comment sections, I'm just trying to be honest and upfront with you guys on what my experience and what I think of it. Again, I think Apple makes a great product, but this one might be just a miss, and here is why. So first, let's go ahead and talk about the display itself. As you guys can see, it comes in many different colors. You've got blue, green, pink, silver, yellow, orange, and purple. So originally, like I said, the pink I thought was actually a red. The back of it looks more like a red to me, but then the front certainly looks like a complete pink, and so I was mistaken on that. And then the blue, while I love the back blue, which is a darker blue, the front looks more like a lighter blue, and in my opinion, that's just not something that sits well with me. I just don't like that look. Overall, while I understand what Apple's trying to do and make something different and kind of go back to when they originally had the iMacs with multiple colors offered and things like that, I think what they're doing is they took those original ones that were like plasticky type of computers and playful type of computers and turned them into the same colorful ones, but more professional looking, more fine-tuned and things like that. So I think that's what Apple is doing. But these colors, I think they would sit well with me if they were all one color, first of all. Second of all, there wasn't this white bezel around the screen, which looks very ugly aesthetically, as well as from a performance standpoint. When you're looking at it from a photographer or videographer standpoint, it's not something you want to look at. If it was black and kind of blended in, that's fine. I get it. It works. Wonderful. And maybe when they come out with the bigger version, the 27-inch or the Pro version of it, maybe they'll have that. I'm not sure. But right now, the way it currently looks, it just does not look all that appealing to me. So that's what I'm going to say pretty much about the display itself and how it currently looks. Now, the second part of that is Apple is promoting how thin this computer is. I can understand while if you want portability, you want it to be thin, you want it to be portable, easy to carry and things like that. You're not going to carry this big iMac around. The way I look at it is it's going to sit on a desk. I'm only going to look at it from the front if I was to get it, which by the way, I'm not going to buy this version of it. But any computer, I mean, it's going to sit on the desk and you look at it from the front. To me, and please tell me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below, I don't care how thick it is because I'm not going to look at the back of it. I'm not going to look at the side of it. I get it. Apple is showing commercials of it like sitting in the kitchen and sitting in a public area where, yeah, you might be passing by and you want it to look nice and clean with, you know, the one power cable coming in. I get all of that. But majority of the people, they're not going to have their iMacs sitting in places like that. They're going to mostly have it on a desk, probably in a room, in an office somewhere, and they're not going to care about how deep it is. Now, I will say this. If you look at the bottom of the front of the screen, they've got the bottom bezel there, which again is a different color. I wish what they would have done is, instead of having that giant bezel in the bottom, just somehow make the computer bigger so that way all of the things that are, all the processors and all the fans and all the components that are in that bottom portion are actually behind the computer. While I can live with the computer being a little bit thicker, I would have loved to see a display that covers the entire front of the display, not having the giant bezel in the bottom. I mean, the way I look at it is I've been waiting for a refresh for God knows how long, And when they came out with this, like I said, I had mixed feelings about it, but I wish they would have changed the display because they didn't really do a whole lot with the way that it looks from the front. So that's kind of my take on thickness of it. Again, let me know in the comment section, guys, what you guys think. If you truly care about how thick or thin this thing really is, or not. And then from a color standpoint, do you wish that it was all one color, or do you guys like this color combination that they're currently offering? So let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about the performance of this thing. So obviously it's got the new Apple M1 chip. It's got 8-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 7-core GPU. They've offer a couple different storage sizes. It's got 256GB of SSD, and of course that's configurable to 512 gigabytes or even 1 terabyte if you wanted to. Quite honestly, I don't think 256 is enough. I've got my iPhone that's 256 gigs, and I do a lot of video and photos on it. And let me show you guys something real quick. And while the iPhone doesn't take up a whole lot of memory when it comes to like videos and photos, if you're using any external cameras, for example, I use the Insta360, that will hog up a lot of your memory. And so let me give you an example of my setup here so you guys can get a look at what I have available. So right now I've got a capacity of 256 on my iPhone, and I actually have 104 available. So I'm using quite a bit of gigabytes on my phone. And what I do is when I download videos off my Insta360 or my GoPro, I use the videos and then I have to delete them because at one point I actually got it to where I only had 7 gigabytes free and it wouldn't download my videos anymore. So I had to go back and delete a lot of the videos that I had on my phone to make room for additional videos that I want to shoot. So 256 for a computer that you might be doing a lot of 4K videos on and things like that, in my opinion, it's just not going to be enough. So you pretty much have to configure it to 512 or 1 terabyte if you're going to be doing a lot of videos and videography or photography. For an average user that might be just taking a few photos or normal clips and editing it, yeah, 256 is probably enough. Maybe you can buy an external hard drive or you can upload it to the cloud. But for someone who is going to be using this computer heavily for video editing or photo editing, 256, probably not enough. It's got 8 gigabytes of unified memory. Display, again, 24-inch. It is a 4.5K display capable of 4480 by 2520 resolution at 218 pixels. It's got 500 nit brightness, so plenty of brightness. And it's got wide color P3 True Tone technology as well. Now, when you look at the display itself, I will tell you, if you are sitting in an area where you have a lot of light, this is very reflective and it's not going to sit well with you if you are looking to do a lot of work on it for long term. You're just going to have to kind of move it around, adjust it so you can get rid of that glare that's on that display. As you guys can see here, just from the Apple Store, Apple stores are pretty well lit. There's a lot of outside light coming in and there is a lot of glare on this display. If you've got a setup like mine, for example, where you don't, you're indoors, you don't have a whole lot of windows, lighting is behind you, it's probably not going to bother you. You'll be fine. But if you are going to be near a window or you've got lighting all around, then that's something to maybe think about. They don't currently offer any other option on the display itself, so you're pretty much stuck with what they're giving you, and you are going to have that glare. You just got to figure out how to make it work best for you. So just FYI on that. All right, on the camera itself, finally, Apple put in a 1080p front-facing camera, so you can now FaceTime in high definition. I don't know why it took them so long to do that, but I was really pleased to see that Apple finally upgraded the camera to 1080p for high definition FaceTime videos. That's pretty cool. So for the audio, I'm not going to get into a whole lot with that. It is pretty standard, not a whole lot of, nothing to really brag about there. But if you look at the back of it as far as connections and expansions go, it's got a display port, it's got Thunderbolt 3, which is capable of 40 gigabyte per second transfer, USB 4, which is capable of 40 gigabyte per second transfer, USB 3.1 Gen 2, which is 10 gigabytes per second, Thunderbolt 2, HDMI, DVI, VGA support only by the adapter. So keep that in mind. Those last things, Thunderbolt 2, HDMI, DVI, and VGA is available, but by using the adapter itself. It is configurable with a gigabit internet, and that does not come standard with it, so you do have to configure that if you do want it. All right, last thing I want to talk about is their actual keyboard. The keyboard itself is pretty much what it is from the previous version. Not a whole lot of change there outside of it being now a fingerprint scanner, which I think is kind of cool for shortcuts of making payments online, shopping online, things like that. Logging in, of course, it's really nice to be able to just kind of put your thumb on there, log in, and you're good to go. What I want to see Apple do is I want to see Apple do face recognition, just like how they have it on their iPhones. Can they transfer that technology onto the computer where maybe you hit a button and then it recognizes your face and then Face ID, and you basically log in from there. I'm not sure. But right now, you are going to be logging in with your thumbprint, similar to what it used to be on iPhone. So maybe down the line, we'll see it where Face ID will be incorporated into logging into your computer as well. That would be kind of cool. So Apple, if you're watching, listening, here's a tip for you. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.